Well, it's the start of February. I'd intended to get at least one more review done by the end of last month, but I had other things to be getting on with, such as buying Game Genies, buying games, and IntelliVoice module. So I didn't really get round to it. But during the time I was buying new things, something caught my attention. Something called the Sega Master System. Well, everybody's heard of this, haven't they? Well, I would have thought so. My first impression to this thing was, it was built in a shed by a bunch of Chinese people. Yes, I know it's a Japanese design, but it was made in China. So, there we go. Well, all in all, actually it's not a bad system. It's a worthy competitor to the Nintendo Entertainment System. Although the Nintendo Entertainment System has a certain charm that I don't think the Master System has. But it's still a good system. It's typical of an 8-bit console, and the games are typical of 8-bit games. The controller has two buttons, 1 and 2. It doesn't have the start and select buttons like the Nintendo, but a lot of consoles of that era didn't seem to have them either, so that can be overlooked. And of course the games are plagued by 8-bit problems, like slowdown and things like that. I don't think they're really worth making a big deal of in this review. In this review I'm going to be reviewing this. Just let me grab it from over here. Sonic the Hedgehog, the 8-bit version, Sega Master System. Sonic the Hedgehog was Sega's new mascot in the early 90s. I believe you probably already know who Sonic the Hedgehog is. But before that, Sega had the mascot Alex Kidd, and they figured it wasn't really working as well as they'd like. So they designed a hedgehog, who started out kind of teal, and he was originally going to be a member of a band. They scrapped these ideas and the paint messed up, he ended up blue. And they liked that, so they kept it. Upon making his Mega Drive game, they decided, because a lot of people still had the Master System, let's do a Master System version and the Game Gear version, just to introduce people to Sonic the Hedgehog. So, well, I think we should take a look really. There isn't much more to be said without you actually seeing what the game runs like. One of those things that never ceases to amaze me about the Master System is how long it takes to load up. Or maybe they just like showing you Sega logos. Well, this is a decent 8-bit rendition of the tune. Decent title screen. There's one thing I think's better than the 16-bit is the fact it shows you where you're going. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Why can't they do that in the 16-bit version? Oh well, never mind. Well, I guess it's a nice 8-bit version of Green Hill Zone. There isn't a particular lot of difference. The only thing I can fault thus far are the controls, really. They feel a bit slippery. Maybe not quite as good as they could have been. Other than that, it's a decent 8-bit version of Green Hill Zone. Hey, everybody remembers this, don't they? Damn it, doesn't work too good. Nah, I must be out of practice. Never mind. So there we go, that's the first level. There isn't a lot to be said on the first level. It's what you expect from the first level of a Sonic game, especially when it's in 8-bit. And the music, it's good enough for 8-bit. I love little jingle like a Chaos Emerald. Fantastic. Come to think of it, I'm starting to like this game better than the 16-bit version. On the second level there's a difference straight away. You're actually sent underground in Green Hill Zone. Why couldn't we have that in the 16-bit version? It's pretty good. I've heard a rumour that they were planning to do this in the 16-bit version, but the idea never made it. Well, I guess that's fair enough, but it would have been cool to have it there. The movement of these platforms is linear, and sometimes when you're not used to the controls, they're pretty difficult to get onto. You have to be right in the middle of the rings to collect them as well, which is strange seeing how that's the hollow part. If you get more than 50 rings in any level, you get to go to a special stage. Some people get frustrated by these, but I don't see a problem. There you go, look, this score screen shows you the Chaos Emeralds. Why doesn't the 16-bit version do that? Well, here you go, here's the special stage. It's pretty standard, but like I say, some people get frustrated by them. Well, why? You can't lose anything in the special stage, all you can do is gain points, and you can also gain rings and extra continues. Although you don't carry the rings into the next level or anything, it's good to collect them. They up your score. And if you get 100, obviously you get an extra life. So yeah, they're a pretty standard special stage, I guess, but there's not a problem with them. Which some people seem to think there is. Why? Leave the special stage alone. I like it. If you don't get to the end before the timer runs out, you lose everything you collected in the special stage, but it's pretty easy to get through most of them within the time limits. The bosses in the game are pretty decent. The first boss is really easy. It's even easier on the Game Gear because you can just hit him when he's moving across the top, making it the easiest boss ever, I think. So yeah, that's pretty standard, but they get harder as the game goes along. Like when you get to Bridge Zone and the music sounds like a Tina Turner record, you've got the danger of falling in the water. Other than that, you know, as well as getting hit by those things, the boss is pretty easy. But it just ups the challenge slightly, which is what you want. It's the second boss in the game. It'd be useless if it was, like, the same or easier than the first one. So, I quite like the way the bosses are done in this game. Obviously I'll point them out as I move along. But back to Bridge Zone. The second level of Bridge Zone, yeah, screen scrolls itself. I guess this happens in a lot of games, but it's pretty annoying. But what can you expect? I mean, that was probably the intention, right? Make the game more challenging. Well, no, actually it doesn't. It moves too friggin' slow. I want it to go faster. It's really annoying. I just feel like I'm sitting there doing nothing. I mean, maybe they could make it move at the speed that Sonic runs when he's going flat out. Now that'd make things interesting, but arguably it'd be too hard for a level this early on in the game. But why not do it later on then? Why not just scrap this idea now, or at least make it go faster? I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. You get a low score as well, because obviously you've taken a long time to do the level. Well, what choice did I have? It's not like I can control how fast the screen goes. Oh, look at that! It's ridiculous. Everybody remembers this level, right? Well, not only is it a rip-off of Mario Bros. 2, even down to the fucking music. As you go up the waterfall, the screen scrolls upwards. Well, of course it scrolls upwards, otherwise you wouldn't see. But look, if you go back out the bottom, you die. Why? I mean, couldn't I at least, like, fall to the bottom and die when I hit something? It'd be realistic, at least. But no. I mean, what's the point in that? It makes the game harder, but why? Why does it have to do that? It's so annoying. But I guess I can overlook it, because after these you get onto Labyrinth Zone, which I happen to like, so it's always worth playing through this level just to get there. An annoyance with this game is there doesn't seem to be any cheats for it, so, you know, not even level select. Which means that every time I want to go on a level I have to play through the rest of the game to get there. This level was just too hard too early on. Well, when you get to the boss, remember to go to your right and get that continue, but it's pretty awkward because the water's always pushing you back. Just don't jump from right next to it, jump from the edge of that platform. This boss takes the piss because it takes you forever to beat him. Even if you hit him every opportunity you get, then half the time there's no opportunity no guarantee you're gonna, like, manage it with that opportunity. I mean, yeah, you can hit him like that, but that's dangerous. Watch this! What killed me? That sucks. So now I lose a life. Once I lost an entire 7 lives trying to do this boss. It's just ridiculous. It was too difficult too early on in the game. Maybe it was poor coding, I don't know, but I just don't like that boss. It's rubbish. Oh yeah, and of course when you start out again, like, the continue isn't there. That was there before. That extra life, it's gone. Then why does Eggman come back? Why can't he go off and, I don't know, do something else, set up the next boss? I don't know, whatever Eggman does in his spare time. And as if to add insult to injury, the screen doesn't scroll instantly when he flies off screen, it takes a while. I jumped once and died, and I did it about 3 times. Look how long it takes, why can't the screen scroll straight away? Well, I'm sure it does in most of the Mega Drive versions. Maybe I'm just getting too annoyed about little things. I mean, it is an old system. Well, because of limitations, I'm going to have to do this in 2 parts, so be sure to watch part 2.